I got up today and I realized that I need to do some brain airing because whenever I start feeling restless and uncomfortable in my body, it's usually because I spend too much time at my desk. So I've decided to take my cycle that my dear friend has kindly lent me, and we're gonna go outside of Munich to see what's up there. I'm thinking of cycling down the river towards Grünwald, which is around 15 kilometers south, and I think this route is gonna have some beautiful sights of the river and the forest and just a nice South German nature. I'm also taking my film camera with me. It's Mamiya MSX 500 this time. And I also got some expired film, Kodak Elite Chrome, which smells a lot like mold. So we're gonna take some pictures that are hopefully cool. There's a really dark cloud and there's potential that my trip might be ruined because I'm not like the Germans. I don't have the proper cycling outfits for bad weather, but let's hope it doesn't rain. It's mean to leave a city bike in the middle of a random field, but that gave me a pretty nice shot. Just a lonesome cycle under this big, beautiful chestnut tree. I wasn't using a light meter, so basically in these photos I was overexposing by eyeballing, which is not a very reliable practice. So the photos from under this bridge turned out to be underexposed, but I still like them, very moody and dramatic. Here's what I think I look like when I cycle. In this photo I really like the contrast between the rough, messy graffiti and the green nature peeking through the window. I reached the riverside cycle track and it was a joy to cycle there, being able to see all the people hanging out by the water. At this point, the clouds were getting darker and darker, but I decided to focus on how smooth and fun the cycle track is instead. Then I found this info stand in the middle of a field which looked more like an art installation or a portal to somewhere. I like this photo a lot. I think the dead tree makes the landscape much more interesting. At Flauke, I found a lot of people swimming between the rocks and I was very tempted to join them, but the water turned out to be freezing. This photo would have been better if I came closer to the shoes, but there were a lot of kids around, so I didn't want to seem like a creep with a camera and make anyone uncomfortable. Sacrifices. Just as I reached a part of the journey with unpaved roads and no cover from the trees, it of course had to start raining. So my concerns about the weather have turned out to be valid. It has started raining. It's not a very heavy rain, but it's also not a light drizzle. And I have nothing against a nice, fresh summer rain, unless it's touching my cameras. And also I'm trying to cycle at the time. So it's not the best, but I have decided to keep on going. It's still very hot, but also very damp, so everything is like nicely sticky and uncomfortable. But I'm still having a good time. We have Isar over there, and we have this high water level water body. Interesting looking. It's kind of like a street. I feel like if you were here at night, you would want to walk on it. Also, I'm seeing some berries that are very tasty looking, so I'm assuming that they're probably poisonous. And I might not eat them. Mom, I won't eat them, I promise. Although it is very tempting. Hi. Bye. The dog is gone, unfortunately, but the rain is on its way to be gone as well. Here I witnessed a beautiful ritual, a bunch of guys having a piss-off. Unfortunately, I didn't catch it on film. I carried on through the unpaved roads and fewer people around me. I checked the map and I saw that there is some sort of castle nearby. And I thought, why not go and see it? So we're gonna cross this big, pretty cool looking bridge, and the castle should be on the other side of the river. In this photo I like all the nature and greenness, and then there's this one random road sign popping out with its red color. I took a lot, probably too many, shots of the bridge, but I just really liked how it gets swallowed by the lush green trees. Here I found one patch of yellow leaves on a tree, which made me terrified, realizing that autumn is just around the corner and I haven't had nearly as many bike trips as I would have liked. In the shot it looks way flatter than it was. This part did make me sweat. Hands down the most flattering footage I have of myself. The bridge itself was wide and high up, and the wooden planks made a nice sound when cycling through them. I like this photo a lot too. The crystal clear water and the tiny people on the white pebbles. So I have just finished the expired film, all the 36 exposures, and I'm gonna add another roll of film, which is Kodak Ultramax 400. I don't know if 400 is the most suitable film for this kind of weather, which is quite sunny right now, but that's the only roll of film I have left. So we're gonna roll with it. This is also a pretty bougie area. There's a lot of expensive houses and rich people that live in those expensive houses. So I'm excited to see some cool things around here. I love the way the shadows are falling in this one, as well as the reflections of the sun on the car, a very serene suburban scene. Here I realized that I had got quite high up on a hill, which was nice. I could see the whole forest and a glimpse of the water from above. This part of the road was probably my favorite, just tiny unpaved paths with no people, sun rays playing through the leaves. So So here's the castle. I reached it. Success. And this little archery tower that goes like that makes me know for sure that it's a castle. So I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool castle. I can't go inside and see much because it's closed right now, but it's still pretty cool, and just the fact that I reached the castle is the most cool of them all. Love this photo too. It looks very dreamy and inviting, kind of reminds me of the illustrations from the books I used to read as a kid. So I think now I'm gonna head back to the water, find a nice spot to eat my award sandwiches, and then head back home because the sun is setting. I don't have a light on my bike. But yeah, this is the Grünwald castle that I reached by bike. Success. On the way back, I got the nicest light of the day, all the fields and the little roads looking even dreamier than before. It reminded me of living in the suburbs and the feeling of the summer freedom. I also found a mini version of the big bridge, which was overlooking some train tracks. Once I got back down to the river, I decided to take the path through the field. Almost fell because of all the hidden holes in the road, but it was definitely worth it. Kinda starting to feel a bit tired, not gonna lie. This whole route has been great. I had such a good time, and I saw so many people and so many things, and you know, people grilling food and having little barbecue parties, but also saw a circle of these hippie looking people singing together. Then I saw another group of people having a mini rap battle, kids running around and swimming, and so many dogs, so many cute dogs. Under this big bridge, I saw a bunch of girls listening to 80s German music and having a little dance party. You have this variety of this many different people with all of them having their own lives, and you just get a tiny glimpse just passing by on a bike, and it's just like so dense. So after being overwhelmed by this amount of different people and these little stories that I saw on the way, it kind of got me thinking why I take photos in general. It's actually two different reasons and two different kinds of photography that I do. It can almost be split by medium. Digital being the more conceptual, constructed photography, where the main goal of it for me is conveying a message. It's expression. Whereas with film photography, and also why I chose to do it today, it's more about observing and absorbing the things that are around me. A tool for me to enjoy life more. I don't think these photos that I took today are particularly great, or good, most of them really, but it's not the point of it. I think, hello. Yeah, it makes me slow down in life and see things more clearly. Of course, like, I would enjoy the cycle ride without taking photos. It would be just as great, but at the same time, I don't think I would really absorb it as fully as I did today. Yeah, I don't know if it makes much sense, but there's just a little stream of consciousness for you. And I keep hearing the thunder louder and louder. There's a little black cloud over there, and the sun is setting quite rapidly. So I'm gonna speed a little to get home before I get caught in a storm. But anyways, let's go. And just as I got home, it started raining heavily, so my timing was really good. These are my favorite shots from the 2 rolls. Generally, I was surprised at how well the expired film turned out, knowing that I was shooting without properly exposing the shots. And yeah, I guess it wasn't in such bad condition after all. Let me know which shots are your favorite ones, and hopefully I can do another one of these trips before the warm days are over.